Two teachers from Ibru College, Agbarha-Otor, have been suspended and ordered to clean staff toilets for a month after engaging in a physical altercation on school grounds. Mr. Agbarha-Otor and Mr. Etuji faced disciplinary action following the incident, which drew widespread criticism from parents and educators. The Delta State government has suspended the teachers and recommended their transfer to other public schools to maintain discipline. They are also required to report to the Ugeli Zonal Office of the Delta State Post-Primary School Board for further interrogation. Pending the board's final decision, they remain suspended. The school's disciplinary committee condemned the fight as a breach of professional ethics. In addition to toilet cleaning duty, Mr. Etuji has been ordered to vacate his official school quarters within a month. Principal Mr. Akporube LO emphasized Ibru College zero tolerance policy for staff misconduct, reiterating the importance of discipline and professionalism. Dr. Precious Omorowu, a senior lecturer at Southern Delta University, condemned the teachers' action, attributing them to a potentially flawed recruitment process. She stressed the need for continuous training and retraining of educators, highlighting their role as molders and role models. She emphasized that educators must uphold high standards of discipline as their behavior directly impacts society. This is a case of two fighting, but in a school environment. What are your thoughts on this report?
This is not just a case of two fighting. It's beyond two fighting. Because these are, apart from the fact that they are adults, these are, like the lecturer said, these are models, as it were. They also have been role models to the younger people.
Right.
Why this fight was going on? There are no students around.
They were?
I know the way staff rooms are not far-flung into one isolated island or something. They are within... the student passes to and fro, maybe not inside the staff room, but it has window. They could see what was happening.
Right.
I also agree with her about a possibly flawed recruitment system and the need for training and retraining. But you see, training here must not be the conventional training you understand training to be. Oh, I'm a chemistry teacher, so you're trained on how to deliver chemistry better, how to have a better understanding of maybe new techniques and delivery and all that. No, you see, if you ask me, I have made this argument elsewhere that for me, a key ingredient for a teacher, apart from his technical ability of the subject matter, should be his morality.
Okay.
You can't overemphasize the need for a morally upright person as a teacher, especially in the formative years of children, that is primary and secondary school. Now, this in no way means to underestimate the need for morality at the university level, but no, this is at the formative level. Yeah, students are likely to pick up what their teachers do and all that. Then to be fighting, I mean, I agree with the punishments that have been meted so far, but I think there should be more. I was looking to see if there would have been a demotion. I like some of the things I read here. The teachers asked to leave the staff quarters and all that. This is very, very appalling. I like the idea of a transfer, but if possible, if there can be a demotion. Now, the idea for this, all this is to send a strong message to these two teachers involved and other teachers that as much as possible, such conduct should not be tolerated anywhere near school. I mean, as a teacher, it is terrible for you to fight outside school with another person, not to talk of two teachers fighting inside the school. Come on. It's terrible. It's not something a sane man would have envisioned happening. Two teachers fighting in school. What would have been the bone of contention?
What if they are aggrieved and they could not settle it amicably?
That's where the ability to have at conflict resolution, a peaceful conflict resolution comes in. Then the other teachers there, don't the school have an internal mechanism of resolving conflict? You are aggrieved. At the time you are aggrieved, is there nobody you would have spoken to? Is there no principal in the school? Is there no vice principal in the school? Are there no HODs in that school? Whether they are directly your HOD or not, whether you are even in the same department with the guy you're fighting with or not, are there no other teachers of high moral standing, as it were, that you can confidently talk to, see what this person has done. The only way either of them could be excused is if you responded to the fight as a means of self-defense. If not, there is no reason that fighting should have taken place in the school, except one was attacked and the other person was defending himself. But if it is two fighting, like you said, I don't think it has a place in school.
Thank you. Now, these people, these teachers, I want us to talk about anger management. The fact that they were probably aggrieved and, you know, went into this scuffle says a lot about anger management.
Absolutely.
When we talk about training and retraining of teachers, like was rightly mentioned by the lecturer, you'd find out that while training and retraining is a good idea, the mental health of these teachers, is it checked and ascertained before employment? Now, why I'm asking you about your thoughts as regards anger management is because these teachers are around children. Children get you upset for the easiest things.
But they were not fighting with a child.
No, they were not fighting with a child. But if somebody can be grieved enough to fight with a fellow teacher in a staff quarters, I want to gather your thoughts as regards how do you think they have, you know, dealt and stayed with the children as teachers?
Now, you know, some time ago we discussed an issue of a child brutality, a teacher, I think somewhere in Adamawa State,
right,
or something like that. If these two people can descend on themselves, even though they may likely be of equal strength, you can imagine what they would do to a student that is at their mercy. They probably would. I don't want to, you know, it's better imagine than said or experience. But like you said, anger management is very important in the way, not just in schools, but in the way we relate to that. You see, as far as you live, as far as you are alive, to the best of my knowledge, there would always be occasion of anger.
Okay.
Yeah, there would always be occasion of, and at times the source of anger may not even be the person closest to you, like I'm sitting here, maybe I offended you or something. It could be a situation. That's where transfer of aggression comes in. Something angered you at home. I carried that anger into the studio here, and the slightest person I could transfer the aggression to, it's you, and I unleash it to you, and you're wondering, what did I do? Have I said anything wrong?
No.
Have I done anything to deserve this? Now, if this were a child, his or her voice may not be heard. You recall the last time we talked about when the authorities say, oh, we have had cases of that. That means there are many cases that would have been buried, are only spoken of when it gets to the peak. Maybe when there is a case of physical harm or even fatality in worst cases. But we shouldn't wait until issues get to that point. You should have a system who should note in schools like this, and maybe in other workplace, because this could pose a hazard. This could be a workplace hazard. We should have a system that notes individuals that have issues with anger management, individuals that lack empathy, individuals that lack emotional intelligence. Because emotional intelligence would have also averted this situation. I feel like slapping you as a peer, but how would my slapping you play out in the face of the students around us? What will it tell of our environment? How would onlookers see it?
Should be the core of the question before such actions.
Yes. Then I calm down. Not because I wasn't hurt by what you did, but because I've put other factors into consideration. So considering these other factors, I've decided to take a chill pill
and maintain decorum.
And maintain decorum, and then approach the nearest authority I can talk to. The nearest authority may not necessarily be in the hierarchy of authority, as it were. It could be somebody, maybe our equals, but that has that both of us have mutual respect for, or that is known to be an impartial and objective arbiter that to some extent even the most aggressive person would listen to him. I say, oh, look at what so person did to me. Please talk to him.
All right.
I have been offended. I am vexed. I just held back myself. Then it will be in the position of that person. And then one of the things also, why didn't any of them think of leaving that place? I mean, one of the ways of anger management, conflict resolution, and all that is taking yourself away from the source of anger or that thing that would likely provoke you. Your presence is already irritating me. I feel like hitting out at you. I know that if I continue staying here, I may likely hit out at you, especially if you continue with the verbal attack.
All right.
It will be best for me to walk out of here. As I walk out of here, at least that verbal attack that I'm hearing that is, spinning me, that is triggering off the need to use my fist. When I walk out of this studio and walk maybe to the next 2 or 3 rooms, I will hear less of your voice. Then
calm down.